good morning, good afternoon, and good night, and welcome to the Triple Threat Podcast. My name is Chris, to my right is Miggy, and across the table from me is Jay. We are honored and happy to have you listening. We are just three guys trying out a podcast for the first time, so we would be more than ecstatic if you will come on us with this journey as we discover sports, discover our voices, and just see where we can go with this.
Giggity.
So I'm going to hand the mic off to Miggy. He's going to give you guys a bit of a description on what we hope to accomplish.
Thanks, Chris. As he says, my name is Miggy. I am mostly the one that takes care of the hockey part of this podcast, but I also put my input on the baseball and the football, and pretty much anything these guys will ask, I'll try to put my input on, either from learning or from knowing. We decided to do this podcast just to have fun. I want to make sure that the people that don't have the time to actually look at the apps or watch the game or any of that have a place where they can either get a quick recap or just some information that they're looking for without the half hour they need of looking for information or scrolling through the scores in the game or watching highlights. I watch sports all the time. There's always a game on my TV, honestly. It's usually hockey because I'm a big hockey guy. So the main sports that we'll be covering will be the NHL, PWHL as well, NFL, NBA, MLB, and the CFL. Since we are a Canadian podcast, we'd like to stay true to our Canadian sports. We'll also follow our So we'll have a segment for our hometown sports. So we'll be following the Saskatoon Blades, the Saskatoon Mambas, and the Saskatoon Rush, although I think they're called the Saskatchewan Rush, so it's not really a good start for me.
They play here in Saskatoon, so really.
I mean, fair. We'll also occasionally cover some international sports as well as eSport. I know very little of both. That will be most towards Jay, who is on my right.
Hello. This is me, Jay, the token diversity hire of this podcast. I come from India, so I will be doing most of the international sports as I do not understand why people call hand-egg football here. Now, I will be covering international sports, which include cricket, esports, F1, tennis, anything that is having a major impact on the world as of this moment. Our first week is going to look like 8 episodes, 1 intro episode, this one. The rest of the week is going to look like each episode consisting of football, baseball, basketball, hockey, and international sports, and Olympics. And then the last episode is going to consist of the regular episode of the week that we will be moving forward with and releasing 1 episode a week from then on for the rest of the year, making it a total of 52 episodes this year. Now, we're releasing these 8 episodes late because, well, I needed a vacation. Well, deservedly so. I don't care what you think. I see Chris judging me because of
I said nothing.
Your face said everything.
Touché.
All right. Now, what I'm hoping to get out of this podcast is, well, learn more about the North American sports and teach about the international sports that I follow. And by the end of it, end up with more than 2 friends that I have started this podcast with.
Yeah, so our episode actually has a pretty simple structure, I find. So we'll focus on the big games, the big scores, discuss just a couple, because if we discuss every game, we're going to be here for 4 hours and not even talk about trades or opinions or controversy or anything. We'll have a little segment too that kind of says the stars of the week. So these are going to be players in the leagues that are going to cover at this time that either having a really hot week or a hot game, and we'll just see how it goes. We'll also talk about disappointing. So very analytical kind of stuff in the first half, but then we'll have like a break, which is going to be like 10-15 seconds at most in the podcast, just for people who are there for the analytical stuff. If they don't want to continue, then they can just turn it off. If they want to keep going, then they know that we're going more in the more discussion, open topic kind of stuff. After a break, we have a segment we like to call the Spice Rack, which is opinion, trade talks, hot takes, awards, all that stuff. And as I mentioned earlier, we will also have our hometown sports, which is with the Blades, the Rush, and the Mambas. We're going to keep track of those, maybe even go to a couple of games and have some fun. And then at the end, we'll shut it down with some international sport as well as esport tournaments. And if there's anything after that, we'll add it on. If not, we'll just keep it however the flow takes us.
Yep, so I'm Chris. You heard a little bit of me at the very beginning. I am a massive basketball nerd. That is where most of my sport playing and watching experience comes from, but I'm into all sports. I've tried hockey for a number of years. I played volleyball for a while. Could never really get into contact sports, but I did enjoy watching them. I've got South African parents, so I've got a little bit of that international flavor towards sort of cricket and rugby and all that stuff. Now, what I really want to get out of this podcast for me personally is just a closeness with sports that my body has decided that I'm not allowed to have recently. So I would like to talk sports, laugh about sports, and once you've followed it long enough and you're calling out plays before commentators are getting to it, or you're having the same ideas as some analysts, it's hard to get the same, I guess, support system that some of those guys have, but you just feel it in you, you feel that, maybe I know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't, and hopefully somebody calls me out on it, but just maybe I know what I'm talking about. And that's what I hope to find out. And, maybe, like I said, share a few laughs with the two boys sitting next to me and just talking about sports. So just to wrap up this episode real quick, thank you again for joining us. We hope that you will indulge us on this journey. This podcast, the Triple Threat Podcast, aims to cover a wide variety of sports in kind of a jot note flashpoint format so that you don't have to search everywhere for the information and scores you're looking for. This upcoming week, you are going to get 8 episodes from us. This will be the first. We'll have 6 kind of mini nitty-gritty individual sports episodes, and then our 8th episode will be our first full runtime episode, and that is the kind of format that you will be that you can expect from us for weeks to come. And like Jay said, those will be our weekly uploads. So sit back, relax. Hopefully you enjoy our voices, our comedy, and our sports analytics. As long as I don't have anything from the other two, I think that concludes our intro. So the mic will be turning off.
Hey, yo, where's my send-off?
None for you!
It's hand egg, not football.